let's get into the KSI Logan Paul topic. I know Gary is hyped to talk about that one too, right? Definitely. That's going to help you with your on-edge factor. But let's listen to Eddie Hearn via SiriusXM. Ak and Barack, they have their own SiriusXM show, obviously with their DAZN obligations, duties, whatever, their job at DAZN as well. But they also have a SiriusXM show as well. And Eddie Hearn was on that, and he had some stuff to say about the KSI Logan Paul card. So let's hear what he had to say. Good old Eddie.
We know a little bit about the numbers, or at least the expectations, or what?
Yeah, so the first fight did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys globally.
Wow.
This was much, much bigger this time around.
Wow.
So this was the biggest pay-per-view in the UK of the year so far. That includes Joshua Ruiz 1 from America. It was cheaper. It was half the price of that. I believe DAZN will announce some numbers this week, but I understand that the biggest viewed fight on DAZN Live so far. A big subscription driver as well. And it wasn't just those two key territories. It was all these other little territories. When we look at the breakdown on Fight TV, you know, Australia, Saudi Arabia, Eastern Europe, Africa. I mean, it was just everywhere. And these guys, you know, you don't realise the audience that these guys have. And they enabled our sport to reach new grounds, new territories, new demographics, new markets. And it's very, I see a lot intrinsically within the business, I don't like this, you know, I don't. And boxers, you know, I've worked all my life, I didn't get a chance to headline Staples Center. Well, you know what? One, you weren't good enough, and two, you didn't build your profile in the right way, because these guys have earned the ability to go into any sport or any activity and create a major entertainment.
I gotta stop it. I gotta stop it. There's like one more second left, but like I just got off a word. So thoughts, Rob. I'm gonna go to you first, because obviously you haven't been on the show yet to talk about this fight. Period. Let alone, you know, Eddie out here saying that it did bigger than any other fight on DAZN, which maybe me and Gary can talk about more since DAZN's a U.S. Market brand. It's not in the UK yet, but it beating AJ Ruiz in terms of pay-per-view buys, and I forget the exact buy rate, but I know you have that off the top of your head. That is something that I think you can address. That's insane. The fact that this fight, air quotes, fight, okay, at 5 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, whenever it was, outsold Anthony fucking Joshua, who also was at, 4 or 5 a.m., but still, it's Anthony Joshua. Rob, are you surprised by that? Because that is pretty shocking, right?
Yeah. It is, but part of me thinks like these. Like, I'm going to give a quick shout out to the Fight Disciples, right? They both guys were denouncing the fight, saying, "I'm not fucking paying for it. I'm not watching these two guys."
And quickly, who are the Fight Disciples for those that maybe not?
Adam Cattrall and Nick P.
Yes.
And Nick P revealed, because Adam Cattrall said, "I came round, we were going to record the show, and what was he watching? The fucking KSI Logan Paul fight." I thought, you bastard, kind of thing. Anyway, they went into this thing, and he said he had his wife was going out, he had his kids. His nephew come round, 17-year-old, and he said, "Oh, what are you doing tonight?" He said, "Oh, me and the lads are staying up tonight. We're going to watch the fight." And he was like, "All right, okay." And he said, obviously Billy Joe Saunders is on there and Devin Haney, and he's like, "Yeah, but you could tell he didn't give a fuck. He wanted to watch KSI and Logan Paul." And it just as the 17-year-old was leaving, he's like, "Why are you so into it?" He said, "Because they're superstars." And he said, "I just had this moment of that's what I'm missing. To me, these guys aren't superstars, but to this generation, they're fucking superstars." He said, this won't translate to you guys maybe, but like the Gallagher brothers, Oasis, if we were told,
I know they are.
Yeah, I know you know they are, but maybe it's bigger here than like obviously Gallagher.
They're 100% bigger in the UK.
But like, if the Gallagher brothers said, "Right, we're getting on," he said, we'd have been fucking all over this. And Adam Cattrall, who'd been super like, "I'm not fucking buying this shit," he was like, "Fucking right, we would." He said, "Yeah, we'd be." It's like, it's just different people, different demographics have got different superstars. But that being said, I am a little surprised this beat the Joshua thing. But I think, no disrespect to Andy Ruiz, but his shape,
no, I'm really
the casuals didn't necessarily make them want to go. and buy this for
No, of course.
3 a.m.
AJ Ruiz was bigger in retrospect because of what happened.
Now the second one's going to be huge. I think the second one is going to eclipse KSI and Logan Paul.
And honestly, it should be more in prime time.
Yeah,
for
we're
UK,
going to be
so
like
that's gonna be
9:30 for ring walks.
huge
like
difference there. That it should break the million like usual AJ fights
yeah,
do.
I think so.
But digressing from that, let's now talk about the fact that it broke every US number apparently for DAZN. Now, Gary, we've had 3 Canelo fights on
Rocky
DAZN?
Fielding and then the 2 real ones. Yeah, so
It's
3
the two-
officially.
two real
Yeah.
ones.
Oh,
But the first one still did like 480 or something like that. It still did like 400,000 live viewers, I think, in the US. Like, it still did a decent number, right?
Yeah, it did.
So just in that perspective, we now have a YouTuber fight that blew out all these Canelo numbers, and even AJ Ruiz, which obviously was viral in the moment. But again, we've talked about that just for the UK, but I think still in the US, that was bigger in retrospect and went viral. Whether DAZN got those viewers or Twitter did is, I think, probably the issue there. But the fact that Canelo fights that had promotion, that had, again, Canelo Alvarez attached to it, the biggest superstar in U.S. boxing besides Mayweather, KSI Logan Paul outdid it, apparently, or allegedly, per Eddie Hearn, in the U.S. market. Thoughts on that, Gary? Like, is that shocking to you? Because to me, all this is shocking.
It's shocking, but it's not, because we talked on the last show about how these celebrities, these YouTubers, especially in the gaming community, they have bigger followings than athletes, especially boxers, right? And Canelo's a star. Like, everyone knows who Canelo is. But, like, if you showed his picture next to Logan Paul's or KSI's, more people know Logan Paul and KSI, right? And that's why it did a bigger number. I mean, you may not think so, but, like, go out to the mall and hold up their pictures. Canelo next to KSI and see who knows.
I definitely agree with the Logan Paul, because Logan Paul is in the U.S. market. So, like, I've been seeing him for, a decade in my life. From Vine videos from way back in the day. Like, I've seen the Paul brothers. So, like, I know who they are. KSI was a new person to me on the block, and I only knew about him because of boxing, because he started doing YouTuber boxing, and that became a headline. But Logan Paul, I knew about him before because he's in the U.S. market. He's in L.A. too, so I'm more susceptible to seeing stuff about the Logan Paul brothers just because I'm in their market.
and yet you didn't get behind your guy.
There's 2 things I wanted to add to Rob. Okay. Well, one thing for Rob, and then one other comment I wanted to make. I absolutely know who Oasis is. Wonderwall and Champagne Supernova.
Yeah,
I absolutely know who Oasis is.
I don't know if I said the Gallagher brothers, you'd get who I meant.
Well, once you preface it with the
Oasis.
Noel Gallagher, and I don't. What's the other? All right, that's irrelevant. Liam.
That's what.
What are there, like 3 names in the UK? Like you say, Caleb, Liam, and Josh, and everyone turns around.
There's a reason why everyone born in like the late '80s and the mid '90s was named Liam. Gallagher brothers, man.
Yeah, I absolutely know who Oasis is. The other thing is Eddie Hearn said that he has guys coming up. I work my whole life. I don't get to headline the Staples Center. And then he said, well, you haven't built your brand right. You haven't promoted yourself right. He's the promoter. That's his job. Is that a serious comment by Eddie Hearn? If your fighter doesn't have the limelight to sell out the Staples Center, that's on Eddie Hearn. That's why
or on Oscar or on Bob or whatever promoter. Absolutely agree.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Who is Logan Paul's promoter? Didn't he do it himself?
No,
But why does he pay Eddie Hearn? Eddie Hearn's paid
I
to make him a star.
I get you. But don't you think fighters could do more themselves as well? Don't you think?
I think a lot of fighters do a lot themselves, but there's a very limited amount of access that these fighters have.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of media access, in terms of opening the doors to certain companies, that is solely on the duty of PR, public relations officials or executives. It's on the managers, it's on promoters. It's on them to open those doors for fighters. And
But it's like a basketball coach saying, I have all these good players, but my team sucks. That's on you. Eddie Hearn keeps telling us how he has all these great fighters, but then they can't sell out the Staples Center. Okay, that's on you, Eddie Hearn.
I agree with Gary's point there. I understand the point entirely, and it makes sense. I mean, again, if you're the promoter and you're complaining about fighters' lack of promotional viability, then maybe there's something that you guys need to fix as promoters. Now, maybe Eddie does a great job as a promoter, but on the whole, that point is true. That it does seem like promoters point the fingers at fighters a lot for their issues. But beside that point, because that's a rabbit hole made for another time, back to DAZN, Sky, and this fight breaking numbers this year, or breaking records this year. Does anyone else see this as a significant issue for DAZN long term? Because the fact that you have all these Canelo fights in the past, you've had 3 Canelo fights. You've had 1 AJ fight, going on 2 now. Oh no, was AJ Povetkin on DAZN? Trying to remember.
Yeah.
So it's two AJ fights. Okay. None of those were able to garner the attention or the brand awareness from the sporting audience the way that this YouTuber fight did. And can we all agree that even though we're going to talk about in a second that DAZN is clearly out there right now pushing for more YouTuber fights,
Asking if you want more YouTuber fights.
pushing, same
It's
thing.
a survey.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
It is, Rob, but let me finish my point, please.
Okay.
That this is a flash in the pan, so to speak, short term. That you cannot replicate this long term. That YouTuber fights long term is a viable business model for DAZN, right? Can we all agree on that? Rob, even like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, so if they double down on this, if this is their highest successful thing they've done in the U.S. market, is that not a sign of concern that their brand is stagnated thus far in terms of the sporting market? Because that's the market they're trying to grab and be a part of. But so far, it's been something that's not sporting related, really, let's be honest, that's grabbing the most attention. Is there an issue there? Guys?
Yes.
Expound on that, Gary.
Because it's look, I knew that thing was going to do well.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah, we knew it was going to do well.
It shouldn't do better than. I'm going to reserve that. It's not a great sign. I don't think AJ Ruiz is going to do a bigger number than this fight, and that's going to be problematic because that means you didn't hold any of those fans that kept that ordered the app for the fight. You know, for the YouTube fight.
And when you say that, you're talking purely DAZN numbers. I think
right.
UK pay-per-view might be different, right? Obviously.
Yeah, and I'll let Rob address that. I'm talking from a U.S. perspective.
Yes, okay.
Right. I don't think this is going to do more. The Ruiz AJ fight is going to do a bigger number than that did, and that's a problem because you didn't keep your DAZN subscribers. They only ordered it for this one-off silly dopey thing, and then they didn't keep it. Where I'm sure you're happy to take their $20, but the real goal is to keep that $20 coming each month, and you didn't accomplish that. And with Canelo and AJ, the 2 biggest stars in the U.S. and the UK, to have both of them and not be able to keep subscribers is not a great sign.
That's you saying it won't. Joshua Ruiz won't do that number. Again, it's not a great time of the day for you guys. It's up against college football and stuff like that. That's why DAZN wanted it in the US, because I think it would have garnered a lot of attention had it been prime time in the US. But that's going to be an issue. I mean, as far as UK numbers, if this has beaten Joshua Ruiz, which according to reports was 562,000 buys. I mean, yeah, that's crazy, but I don't know. For me, it was an experiment. I don't know if they're going to do it again or whether they're going to try maybe put another one on an undercard to try and keep what did sign up. That was kind of the rumor at one point, whether Logan Paul, the WBC amateur champion, is is gonna be on a card or not. I don't necessarily think there's going to be a headline YouTuber thing with boxers underneath it again. I think
there will be, to be honest. I think they're going to try it again.
I don't know. Depends what you vote on yourself.
I wanted to add one thing.
Quickly, since he's mentioned that a couple times, let me just briefly address the whole survey thing. Thank you, Boxing, for pointing this out, because I'm a DAZN subscriber, and I've been since they've started, and I didn't get this survey. That seems weird. Saying we may be treated to some more YouTube fights based on some of the questions in a recent emailed survey from DAZN. First one says, Thinking back to the Paul Logan versus KSI fight, which, by the way, gotta fix that shit. Just Logan Paul. Imagine there was a boxing tournament that featured YouTube celebrity personalities that ran throughout the year. How interested would you be in watching this boxing competition like that? Extremely interested, very interested, blah, blah. Next one. Would any of the below content make you reconsider or keep your subscription to DAZN? Other YouTube celebrity boxing fights like Jake Paul, some other guys I don't know. Exclusive Logan Paul and KSI videos. More original DAZN content, i.e. 40 days. Esports content. Other. Why not fucking sports, DAZN? I know that's like a crazy concept for the, quote, Netflix of sports to have sports on it. And another one saying, are there any other YouTubers or celebrities that you would like to see fight in a boxing match with a bunch of names I don't know? No, I don't want any of these names on my fucking DAZN app. Please stop this, DAZN. For the love of God.
Click not interested.
I didn't get this. I did not get the survey, DAZN. Bad customer service there. You are supposed to be the Netflix of sports, and you're doubling down on this shit. Pathetic.
I wanted to make one point. It won't be up against college football. The conference championship games are all the week before. It's always the second Saturday of the December.
Oh, okay.
The first is a Saturday. So the conference games are actually like a week earlier than they usually are. So it's actually not against college football.
Oh.
The way it works in America is all the conference championship games. So that game would be up against the SEC championship game.
Oh, that's the one.
Which would be like Alabama. Well, now it would be LSU versus Georgia, which would do a massive rating.
Yeah.
In the U.S. Now it's actually like that's a week earlier than it typically is, or almost a week earlier. So it's not against that, which is.
Look at that. DAZN got them to move the date. Fantastic.
Yes.
No, I think in the build-up, I heard that this was up against some big American football game, but clearly it's not.
And the NFL playoffs don't start till January, so it's actually not.
It's going to do 1 million plus then, Gary. It's all good.
That matters, right? Because a lot of people, because it's championship Saturday, so every conference, no matter where you are in the country, the Pac-12 plays on Friday night, but everyone else plays Saturday. Yeah. So no matter where you are in the country, that's what you're watching because your conference is playing, except for Matt's.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, what's the highest that we know from a DAZN? 600,000, right, for Canelo Jacobs? That's the highest number we know. So, I mean, if the YouTuber guy's done better than that in the States and it's done better than Joshua here, maybe that's, I don't know, a sign that other things are more popular than boxing, and we're maybe a little like, what? How can that possibly be?
No. That's not what this is. That's not what this is at all. I think everyone's aware that, like, from a pure viewership perspective, right? Like eyeballs on it, KSI Logan Paul have more people attached to them than 99.9% of boxers, right? We all know that. That's not, I think, the question here.
No, but I see people within boxing like going, what? How the fuck? Oh, how can this be more? This is crazy. Above the sport that I love. This is insane,
Yeah, absolutely understand that. But I think those people are a little bit misguided and are in a boxing bubble, and that happens. However, again, if your desired goal is to be the Netflix of sports, that was their stated goal when they started their company, was to be the, quote, this is an exact quote, Netflix of sports. Okay? And all you've got so far to show for it is some international boxing, some YouTuber boxing, some snooker, some J1 league, whatever that is for soccer, some Chilean league. You have billiards. You have, what else do they have? Darts and Bellator. Okay. There is an issue. You have clearly not met your goal. Okay. And on top of that, when you are costing the consumer $20 a month, when I just bought Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu for $12.99, you are losing the content game. Okay? And falling back on YouTuber fights is clearly, okay,
it's a crutch.
It's a crutch. It's a It's an attempt to do something. It's grasping at straws here because right now they haven't got the big network. I mean, not big network. The big sporting entity. They haven't got NFL, NBA.
What's available right now for them to purchase right now?
Nothing right now, and that's the issue.
Right.
They came into a marketplace that was not available to them. That was monopolized. No, they are here now.
They're not.
I said they're here now. I didn't say they're not here, but they're not doing anything.
They're here now. They've got a subscriber base, whatever it is, and I guess they're gonna at some point go full tilt. Whether they get it or not, that's up for debate. But they're gonna, with already some kind of foothold, look for rights with an existing.
We all know they're going to do that, Rob. I'm telling you, I'm giving my opinion and my prediction because we all know what they're going to try to do.
I'm giving you mine.
Okay, but you didn't give your opinion. You just told us that they're going to try to get other sports, which we know they're going to try to do. I don't think they're going to be successful at that because they have not been successful in anything else they've done other than YouTuber fights.
They have snooker.
You know,
no, if I could give any word of advice to DAZN, it would be go after college football. It's a nationwide thing. It's a younger demographic. They're going to know how to use your app, and you're going to have them for a long time. That's what I would suggest to them. Now, I'm sure they won't listen to me, but we'll see. You know, maybe they'll be able to get something with the NBA, the NFL. If they can get anything with the NFL is so huge and so popular. That's going to be a huge moneymaker. I don't know if they're going to be able to it. There's going to be a lot of people bidding on it. If Disney bids on it, I don't know how Disney doesn't outbid DAZN if they really want it. But, you know, those questions will be answered. Right now, the DAZN, and I like the product. I really do. I like the fights they give me. I like the baseball highlight package. It's not really winning right now. It's not.
But what do you mean by winning? Like bigger than other networks? Bigger than?
But you do understand at a $20 per month price point, that's not a good deal for people. Look what Matt just said he got for $12.99. $20 to watch fights and a baseball package, and I'm sure I'm the only person who watches both, right? So, well, that's probably not the only person, but one of the only people who watches
small percentage
both, right? And it's still like $20. That's a lot. You know, I bought it for the year because my wife said just buy it for the year because you'll save whatever it is.
Yeah,
but it's still $100 a year to watch baseball highlights and boxing. It's
no, I get you. I get you. But like I say, my point is they've come in. They've got whatever they've got now. I don't know any numbers, but like as far as subscribers,
we know it's around 2 million. That's what we've been hearing. Forbes reported that. Bloomberg reported that, right?
Looking on application data, apparently in the last 30 days, 2.3 million people have downloaded DAZN. Now, I was trying to figure out via their thing whether that's includes like people in Japan or whether that's US or, you know, like all the different territories that they're in. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's been a huge advertisement. It's been the name is that a lot of this for me is about brand awareness, I think. But
yeah, but brand awareness means so little if no one actually pays for your content because there's no content there to pay for. You know, like that's the issue. And again, like sports is, you know, I've said this a lot of times, like sports has its value as a live property. Sports does not have the same amount of value as a on-demand property. You know, fight libraries aren't as valuable as live sporting rights. Point blank, end of story, full stop. Okay? And if most of your content is live base, okay, then therefore your content, you know, base period is, it has a depreciating value higher than other streaming services because it's a sports streaming service. Same with ESPN Plus, right? A lot of their content has a higher depreciating rate because it's live sports, okay? But ESPN gets a daily update of all the major sports, all of them. Baseball, NBA, football, etc. DAZN doesn't. Their daily updates are darts. The J1 League, which I still don't know what that is. I think it's the Japanese league.
The J League, yeah, it's Japanese.
I saw some of the names. I was like, I assume it's Japanese, but I don't want to assume. But I did. And again, I want DAZN to succeed because DAZN, or at least a concept of DAZN, right? A competitor to an ESPN Plus platform, so there's not a monopoly in the industry. Something that will make sure we get international streaming rights. because I believe if DAZN devests from boxing, because it's far more valuable to invest in YouTubers and esports, which they're already thinking of. That's why they put in the survey. Okay, then I worry about a lot of this international boxing that we've seen, that we've grown accustomed to watching in the U.S., going back to illegal streams and a recession in the industry. I am deeply concerned about that because, look, if all of their boxing content they put on this year, think about how much money they've spent on Triple G, Canelo, AJ, all this money. KSI Logan Paul beat it all. If DAZN investors and Len Blavinik is in the back room looking at the X's and O's of the spreadsheet and going, why the fuck am I still spending this much money on all this stuff that's not making me money? But KSI Logan Paul, those YouTuber esports shit, that's making me money. Let's go invest in that. If you're out there listening to this and you aren't concerned about that factor, then you aren't paying attention enough, clearly.
My only hope is that the boxing is such a blip under the radar that he doesn't even know it's losing him money, right? Like when I was a stockbroker, I had a client, $100 million net worth, and he had like $50,000 with me. He didn't even know I was a stockbroker. Like he had no clue who I was, right? Like I don't care who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that's the boxing is that's so
Hopefully.
far under the radar that they don't even know the money's gone.
I doubt it though. With the percentage increase they're paying these guys from before, when they were what they're getting paid on HBO, Gennady Golovkin's getting paid over 700% more than what he was getting paid on HBO. 700% more than what he was getting paid on HBO. Canelo, his base pay has gone up over 600%. You know, like, again, go check out my articles, Mixed Comment Radio. Check it out. All those numbers there. But, yeah, maybe it's a blip on the radar, but it's a giant fucking blip. And I don't think it's just a blip on the radar, to be honest. And I think it's the same issue with ESPN and to some degree. They're looking at those Tyson Fury numbers and saying, what the fuck are we getting our money for? Or paying this money for? Like, we're not getting it back with Tyson Fury. You know? Like, I'm concerned about this. And if you're out there listening and you aren't concerned, you're not paying attention. But side topic in a way. I wanted to run back this topic from yesterday or the Sunday show. Because just me and Gary and we're Yanks. And we're talking about the UK television rights. But 2021, DAZN is looking to break into the UK market and go after the Champions League. At the same time, Sky is going after it. BT obviously did have it, but they're in a bidding war as we speak, I think. Right, Rob? I think the bidding war started yesterday, right?
Bids went in yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
We were potentially going to find out like yesterday, but we should maybe this week find out who came out on top with these TV rights bidding war.
Agreed. But on top of it, it looks like Matchroom and Sky's deal is up at the same time in 2021. Now, that seems like it's going to be a tumultuous time for UK boxing, or at least it could be, let's say. There's a potential for it to be. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe all things are status quo. They re-sign with Sky Sports. Nothing changes. DAZN enters the market. They don't get the Champions League. They don't get Matchroom. And it's kind of, again, status quo, so to speak, for British boxing or UK boxing. However, let's say in some world that DAZN comes, they get the Champions League, they get Matchroom, Sky is left there, BT is left there with the hands tied and wondering what the fuck just happened. Rob, what is the possibility of that outcome being a reality? That DAZN somehow comes in here in 2021 or comes in there and steals Champions League from BT and Matchroom Boxing from Sky, or Matchroom as a whole from Sky? Because Matchroom does other stuff.
What's the chances of it both happening? I mean, look, swinging it back to the US, it was a huge thing that they got Canelo.
Yes.
Then it was, along the way, there has been like, oh, fucking hell, like, check DAZN out, they're making moves, as much as you can look into it and think, fuck, that's a lot of money, or holy shit, no wonder Triple G signed, or whatever. But when they first come in, people are like, does DAZN? What the fuck's it? Oh, fuck, they signed Canelo. So I don't think it's like probably out of the realms of possibility that they could come in, because I think the last deal with BT for the Champions League was $1.2 billion pounds for the Champions League rights. So for DAZN to come in and go like, I don't know, 1.5, 1. Whatever the winning bid is going to be, for it to be DAZN, I don't know that that's like out of the realms of possibility, but I think it's unlikely. I don't think DAZN, just looking at the reporting lately, the last sort of day or so, it does seem like Sky are massively in the running. BT are looking like they're maybe going to lose their grip on the TV rights for the Champions League, and also ITV, which is free TV over here. They're in with a good shout as well for winning the rights for it. But I think a big if, I think if DAZN do pick up the Champions League, I think that then lends itself to a possible move for Matchroom away from Sky. I think that would make it more likely, but I think it'd put, as much as money talks, I still think it would put Eddie Hearn in a tricky position, because Sky have really helped Matchroom and Eddie Hearn become, what Matchroom and Eddie Hearn have become. He had a massive platform when boxing wasn't really, I don't know, getting the investment or the network time or anything like that. Sky came in and really, helped Matchroom out, and it gave them a platform, because lots of people were getting Sky TV because they had the Premier League football. That, if you wanted the best sports, you had Sky Sports, because all the major golf tournaments, all the cricket, loads of stuff was on Sky. And so if your boxing was there as an option to watch on Sky as well, it was, you were in a decent shop window. So does it happen? I'm not sure, because for a start, I don't think DAZN are going to get the Champions League rights, even though I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility. But
and I'm seeing a lot of in the chat that, like, look, and I think Matt will agree. No one's saying that the DAZN app is bad or it's trash. It doesn't have any content for its $20 price point. If it was $5, that'd be one thing. But $20, I think the app is good, actually, right? Like, I like it.
UI is amazing. Way better than ESPN's.
But for $20 a month, the content's not there, right? Like, we're not saying we want the DAZN app to fail. I hope it does great. It's more boxing. But right now, like, look, most of my friends who don't follow boxing but follow, mainstream sports, they now know what it is. They know what DAZN is. They don't have it, though. That's a problem.
I'm sorry, Gary. I'm arguing with a bunch of people that don't have DAZN, and it's really upsetting. I'm done arguing with these people. If you want to go read my article, again, Mixed Comment Radio. If you guys are upset at me mentioning commission disclosed purses and the fact that they've all gone up for everyone across the board. Yes, I brought up DAZN because they're the biggest culprits, but PBC is a big culprit too. I think Deontay Wilder, from the numbers that I remember, is over 400% increase. Earl Spence was like 120-something% increase. Terrence Crawford was over 200% increase in average pay from last year alone, guys. Like, we're talking only about a 12 to 18-month time span, and numbers have increased astronomically.
This is not normal. In the real world.
Hold on, and quickly, I'm not saying that these people can't or should not get paid what their market worth is. But if you're saying the market can't sustain that long term, then again, you're not paying attention, which is fine. Just please stay in your lane, listener.
Right. In the real world, you usually get a 2 to 3% pay increase per year. If you're doing 5, that's great, right? No one in the world makes 500, 200% more than they made the year before. That just doesn't happen. So that's a bubble. That's not real.
And by the way, people, government commission disclosed documents aren't, quote, stupid numbers. That's literally the factual information we can go off of. So, I mean, again, a lot of UK people or I should not say, a lot of Matchroom fans, whether or not they're in the US or UK, doesn't matter. A lot of Matchroom fans are upset at me pointing out some legitimate criticism and issues with DAZN and Matchroom right now. And that's fine. It's okay. Everyone has the bias.
Balance it off by saying about Wilder's ticket decrease. Well,
of course. I mean, that's in New York, right? This one's in New York?
Vegas.
No, Vegas.
That's why, man. Vegas has never been good to Wilder. Same with LA, in a way. He's done decent in terms of, I would say, gate revenue. You know, he's always done decent, but his attendance has always been kind of a little bit above half. He's more of a New York draw. And I'm surprised they've not put him in Atlanta yet. That's pissing me off. I think they did it once, right? Didn't they do it once?
I don't think they've ever put him in Atlanta. I know they put him in Alabama a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I think before they invest the money in Atlanta, I think they just want to test the market a little bit with Javante, and then they'll put him in Atlanta if that does okay.
Because that fight's in... Wait, is the Javante fight in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think, isn't Gamboa like a really good ticket seller there?
In Atlanta? I don't think he's ever fought in Atlanta.
Right, I'm joking. No, that's going to do well there, I think. Because Tank's like second home. He basically lives there, I think.
And well, I've always said this. Atlanta is a big market, full stop, like just a market period. Like all flights in the South fly through Atlanta. Okay?
Biggest airport in the country.
Ella B described it as like, is it like, what does he call it? Black Hollywood or something? It's like all the like rap stars or like
Tyler Perry has an entire movie studio complex there. That Bad Boys 3 was filmed. What else? There was another movie that I think it was a Kevin Hart film or something. There was a bunch of films that are filmed there like simultaneously. It's a massive area and market, like I said. And it's one that I think it could absolutely support African American fighters and guys like Javante Davis, Deontay Wilder, the Charlo brothers, Spence, Crawford, even like these guys need to be put in this market more often, in my opinion. That needs to be a market that's tested, especially with some of these guys that are Southern in terms of their style, how they present themselves. Like the Charlos are Southern. Crawford's a Southern guy. Like
Wilder is Southern.
Wilder is Southern.
Is Southern.
Like put him in the South. Like why not? And not in Miami, Florida. Like
that's the North.
like Farmer Jojo Diaz. Like that's not a fight town market. That's not even a market that's comparative to Atlanta anymore.
And it's not even a Southern market. Right? I get it's South, but everyone who lives in Miami is from New York, so it's not the South.
Just so you know, Ortiz fought there and then called out Wilder and he got the fight. Fuck it, I tell you, Florida.
Yeah, in front of what, 400 people?
Yeah, maybe.
Was that wasn't on the Laura? Who did he fight? Yuri Foreman?
Yeah, it might have been.
Was that card? No.
It might have.
Oh my god, that card was so bad.
Wilder was in attendance, wasn't he? Ortiz lent out I want you. I want you.
When Thurman fought in Florida, when he fought at the UCF, didn't he do well? Like, did he do relatively well? Maybe 10,000.
Yeah, but wasn't it at a school?
It was at the university in Central Florida.
Yeah.
Or South Florida. South Florida.
Dude, all those kids probably got in for free.
Probably.
That's how it worked for me. When I was a student at Oregon State, all the events I got in for free. Whether it was a sporting event, whether it was a concert, I got in for free because I was a student.
Because you just moaned your way and they went, just let him in.
Whatever.
This guy again. Damn it.
Get this guy. Stop him.
All he does is complain. But sort of digressing back to Rob and DAZN and Matchroom Scott, I agree with all of you guys' points. I do agree that the status quo will largely be kept. I think Sky is a machine, similar to like ESPN in a way, where it's just too big to fail at this point in time, especially with a upstart market entry like DAZN. I just don't think it's going to have the impact.
Saying that though,
the
instant impact it wants.
If Disney wants to buy it, though, they'll buy it because they can, right? Like basketball was on NBC for 30 years, and then ABC said, "We're going to buy that. How much do we need to pay? All right, write the check." Right? Like I don't know if ABC or ESPN has any interest in buying both, sort of, having BT and Matchroom like all under their umbrella. But if they want it, they'll buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like
right now, all I know is at the minute Disney Plus sucks until it's here and I can use it and pay for it.
Rob,
and
don't
watch
worry.
it.
Rob, don't worry. I'm going to record The Mandalorian for you and send it to you via just
You're gonna go live.
My narration.
We're gonna go live with some spectacles on and let me be one of 11,000 people tuning in. Keep still, bro.
Yes.
That one comment. Stop moving, bro. Oh, I nearly died. Oh, shout out to that guy. Not all heroes wear capes, I guess. But
that was great.
Yeah.
That was great. Moving on. Any last thoughts about DAZN and markets and
keep doing your thing, DAZN. Come to the UK because that's what I was just going to say off the back of what Gary said. A lot of people in the UK are like, just fuck it, we'll have DAZN. We'll pay that because the Sky subscription is a lot more than a DAZN subscription, let me tell you. So,
Yeah, but with Sky, you got a bunch of other stuff.
yeah, but I'm just saying.
With
If
DAZN.
DAZN got Champions League and Matchroom Boxing, I'm good.
Well, no, of course, but that'd be the equivalent to like if DAZN got the NFL, the NBA, and the UFC. I'd be like, yeah, my money, take it.
Because
Of
all that
course.
NBA and NFL you watch.
I definitely watch a lot of NBA, but I watch things that have rights to, like ESPN. Like I may not watch full games, but I watch SportsCenter because ESPN has all the rights to NBA games.
Okay.
Right? If DAZN had the rights and I had another highlight show I could watch, yeah, I'll be all down for that. But they need rights to games.
Mm-hmm.
They do, you know.
NBA highlight shows are the best because you can watch all the dunks from the night before.
Yes, because dunks are way better than anything in UK sports, right, Rob?
No, I just didn't get the significance of
There's
that.
Dwayne Wade, who's 6'3", throwing it down on a 7-footer. Rob's like, what's the big deal?
No, but you went 10 years ago, this happened.
Did you see the dunk? The dunk's
What, was
crazy.
Did it win the fucking final game? Was it on the buzzer? No, it was.
No, it's in the middle of the
it was
early
like
season,
3
10 games
minutes
into the season.
first quarter, and I'm like,
games into the season.
what the hell is this? Why is this significant in any way? It's like every other dunk I've seen. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
So good.
Group chat shit.